Most people over 60 believe that losing muscle is just a natural part of aging, something unavoidable, something you simply have to live with. You get weaker, your strength declines, and daily activities slowly become more of a struggle. But what if I told you that what you've been led to believe isn't the full truth? What if muscle loss isn't just an automatic side effect of getting older, but actually something you can fight back against? Something you can reverse if you know the right steps to take? Because here's the shocking reality. The average person loses up to 3 to 5% of their muscle mass every single decade after the age of 30. After 60, that rate can double. That means by the time you reach retirement age, you could have lost nearly a third of the muscle you had in your youth. And it's not just about appearances or vanity. It's about survival, independence, and quality of life. Think about it. When muscles shrink, so does your ability to move freely. Carrying groceries becomes exhausting. Climbing stairs feels like running a marathon. Even getting out of a chair or bending down to pick something up starts to feel like a workout. But it doesn't stop there. Losing muscle makes you more likely to fall, more likely to break a bone, and more likely to lose your independence. And that's not just theory. Research shows that people with low muscle mass are significantly more at risk for hospitalizations, chronic diseases, and even earlier death. That's the part no one talks about. The part hidden behind phrases like, just getting older. Have you ever noticed how something as simple as standing up from the couch now takes more effort than it used to? Or how a short walk leaves your legs sore for days? That's sarcopenia, the medical term for age-related muscle loss. And it creeps up silently, slowly stealing away your strength, until one day you realize you can't do the things you once took for granted. And here's the terrifying part. It doesn't wait for you to be 80 or 90. It starts in your 40s and 50s, and after 60, it accelerates rapidly. That's why you might feel like your energy suddenly plummeted in the last few years. You didn't change your diet. You didn't change your lifestyle. But somehow, your body just doesn't respond the same way. Now, many people accept this as fate. But the truth is, your muscles are not gone forever. They're waiting to be rebuilt, if only you give them the right tools. Your body is capable of regaining strength, of rebuilding lean tissue, and of restoring energy at any age. Yes, even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. And while exercise is a huge part of this puzzle, there's another missing link that almost no one talks about. It's not just about moving more. It's about fueling your body in a way that makes recovery and growth possible. Here's where things get interesting. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at absorbing nutrients. That means the foods that once built your body when you were younger, meats, beans, eggs, dairy, don't have the same effect anymore. You eat them, but your body doesn't process them as effectively. It's like trying to fill a bucket with holes in it. No matter how much food you eat, you're not getting the full benefit. This is why so many older adults can eat healthy, but still lose muscle. The solution isn't just to eat more. It's to give your body concentrated, easily absorbed fuel. That's where natural powders come in. They're not drugs. They're not dangerous. They're not even complicated. They're simply concentrated nutrients your body can use instantly to rebuild what time has taken away. And today, we're going to talk about 7 of these powders. 7 natural, science-backed options that can restore muscle, improve recovery, and bring back the vitality you thought was gone forever. By the end of this, you'll understand how each one works, how to use it, and why waiting too long could mean missing the window to rebuild your strength. Let's start with the first one, because it's one you've probably heard of, but almost no one over 60 is using correctly. The first powder is whey protein. Now, I can almost hear what you're thinking. Whey protein, isn't that what bodybuilders use? That's not for me. But that's exactly the myth that keeps so many people stuck in weakness. Whey protein isn't about giant muscles or lifting heavy weights in the gym. It's about giving your body the raw materials it needs to maintain basic strength. Here's the shocking truth. As we age, our protein needs go up, not down. That's the opposite of what most people assume. Seniors often eat less protein, thinking they don't need as much, when in reality, their bodies require almost double the amount just to prevent muscle breakdown. And here's where whey protein stands out. It's one of the fastest digesting, most bioavailable sources of protein in the world. Unlike a steak, which can take hours to break down, or beans, which may cause bloating and discomfort, whey protein delivers amino acids to your bloodstream within minutes. And the star of the show here is leucine. Leucine is an amino acid that acts like a switch, telling your body to start building muscle. Without enough leucine, your body simply won't repair or grow muscle tissue, no matter how much protein you eat. Whey protein is rich in leucine, making it the single most effective way to flip that switch back on. Imagine this. You wake up in the morning, you have your usual breakfast of toast, maybe some eggs, maybe oatmeal, but by the time lunch rolls around, your body is already in a muscle loss state because that breakfast didn't provide enough usable protein. Now imagine instead you add a scoop of whey protein to a smoothie, or even stir it into your oatmeal. Suddenly your muscles have what they need to recover from yesterday's activity and prepare for today's. Over time, that means you maintain strength, you maintain independence, and you stop the downward spiral. But here's the catch. Most people don't take enough. A typical serving should be around 20 to 25 grams of whey protein, ideally after some light activity, or even just with breakfast. You don't need to chug huge shakes or live like a gym rat. Just one scoop a day can make a noticeable difference. And if you're worried about safety, research shows whey protein isn't just safe for older adults. It actually provides additional benefits like improved immune function, better bone health, and even weight management. The only thing to watch out for is lactose intolerance, in which case whey isolate, a filtered version with less lactose, or a plant-based alternative can work just as well. So let me ask you this. Have you ever tried protein powder, or have you always assumed it wasn't necessary for someone your age? Drop a comment below, because I'd love to know how many people are missing out on this simple fix. Now, feeding your muscles is the first step, but what about fueling them? That's where the second powder comes in, and this one might shock you. It's called creatine monohydrate. If whey protein provides the bricks to build the house, creatine provides the electricity that keeps the lights on. Most people associate creatine with young athletes trying to bulk up, but study after study has shown that creatine might be even more valuable for older adults. Here's why. Every single time you move a muscle, whether you're lifting a weight, carrying groceries, or just standing up from a chair, your body uses ATP. It's primary energy currency. The problem is, your body stores only a tiny amount of ATP, and once it runs out, your muscles fatigue. That's where creatine comes in. Creatine helps recycle ATP, recharging your muscles so they don't run out of energy as quickly. Without it, your movements feel sluggish, your endurance fades, and your recovery takes much longer. Now, here's the incredible part. Studies on seniors supplementing with creatine have shown improvements not just in muscle size, but also in strength, mobility, and even brain function. That's right. Creatine doesn't just fuel your muscles, it fuels your brain too. Your brain also runs on ATP, and with age, those energy systems slow down. By taking creatine, you're essentially giving both your body and your mind a backup battery. Imagine climbing stairs without stopping halfway. Imagine remembering names and details more clearly. Imagine feeling like your body and brain actually have gas in the tank again. And here's the best part. Creatine is simple and safe. You don't need complicated cycles, loading phases, or expensive blends. Just 3 to 5 grams per day taken consistently is enough. You can mix it into water, juice, coffee, whatever you like. Timing doesn't matter. Morning, afternoon, evening, it all works. The only thing you need to remember is to stay hydrated because creatine pulls water into your muscle cells. That's actually a good thing because it makes your muscles feel fuller and recover faster. But you do need to drink enough fluids now. Let me ask. Have you ever felt like your legs give out halfway through a walk? Or like you just don't have the endurance you used to? That's one of the clearest signs that your ATP stores are running low, and creatine could be the missing link. It's one of the most researched supplements in the world, with decades of studies proving its effectiveness and safety. Yet most seniors don't even know it exists, let alone how much it could help them. So we've talked about feeding your muscles with whey protein and fueling them with creatine. But there's still one more piece of the puzzle, protecting the structure that holds everything together. Because what good is strong muscle if the scaffolding around it is weak? That brings us to the third powder, collagen. Most people hear the word collagen and immediately think of beauty products, skin creams, anti-aging serums, maybe hair and nail supplements. But collagen's role goes far beyond the surface. It's actually the most abundant protein in your body, making up your tendons, ligaments, cartilage, and connective tissue. In other words, collagen is the glue that holds your body together. And as you age, your natural collagen production drops dramatically. By 60, you may be producing half as much as you did in your 20s. That's why joints get stiff, injuries happen more easily, and recovery takes longer. Here's the problem. Even if you rebuild muscle with protein and fuel it with creatine, if your connective tissue is weak, you're still at risk of pain and injury. That's where collagen powder comes in. When you take collagen, especially hydrolyzed collagen peptides, your body absorbs the amino acids and uses them to rebuild connective tissue. It's like patching up cracks in a building before they become major structural problems. And here's something most people don't realize. Collagen also supports muscle recovery. It reduces soreness, speeds up repair after activity, and even improves bone density when combined with resistance training. That means you're not just building muscle, you're reinforcing the foundation that allows you to keep moving safely. The ideal dose is around 10 to 15 grams daily, and it couldn't be easier to use. Mix it into your morning coffee, your tea, your smoothie. It dissolves without taste or texture. And here's a bonus tip. Collagen works even better when paired with vitamin C, because vitamin C helps your body turn collagen into usable connective tissue. Something as simple as adding your collagen to orange juice can boost its effects dramatically. Now, are there cautions? Collagen usually comes from bovine or marine sources, so if you have dietary restrictions, you'll want to check the label. Otherwise, it's one of the safest, most natural ways to reinforce your body's foundation. Have you ever dealt with nagging joint pain or stiffness that keeps you from staying active? Imagine how different life would feel if that pain eased and your body felt supported again. That's what collagen can do. So let's pause here and reflect. We've covered 3 powerful powders so far: whey protein to feed your muscles, creatine to fuel your energy, and collagen to protect your structure. Just imagine what could happen if you started with these 3 alone. Stronger muscles, better recovery, less fatigue, fewer injuries. It's like giving your body back the blueprint it lost. But here's the most exciting part. We're not even halfway done. There are 4 more powders coming that most people have never even heard of. Powders that can boost endurance, regulate hormones, improve circulation, and deliver oxygen to your muscles in ways you never thought possible. And when you combine all 7, the effects can be nothing short of life-changing. So let me ask, are you curious to know what the next 4 are? Because what comes next could be the missing piece between just maintaining and truly transforming your strength after 60. We've already seen how whey protein, creatine, and collagen can completely transform the way your muscles respond after 60. Feeding your muscles, fueling them, and protecting their foundation. That alone is a game changer. But here's where things get even more exciting, because the next 4 powders aren't just about building strength, they're about optimizing the entire environment in your body so that your muscles can actually thrive. Think of it like gardening. Protein and creatine are the seeds and water. But what good are they if the soil is poor, if the circulation is weak, or if your hormones aren't supporting growth? That's where powders 4 through 7 come in. And trust me, some of these are so overlooked, most people have never even considered them. But once you understand how they work, you'll see why they might be the missing pieces you've been searching for. Let's begin with number 4, beetroot powder. Now, you might be wondering, how can something as simple as powdered beets help restore muscle? The answer is nitric oxide. Beetroot is naturally rich in nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes and widens blood vessels. Why does this matter? Because wider blood vessels mean better circulation, and better circulation means more oxygen and nutrients delivered directly to your muscles. If protein is the brick and creatine is the power, nitric oxide is the highway that delivers everything where it needs to go. Have you ever noticed your muscles cramp or fatigue more quickly than they used to? That's often not just muscle weakness, it's poor blood flow. With age, arteries stiffen, circulation slows, and your muscles suffocate from lack of oxygen. Beetroot powder reverses that by opening the pipes. Studies on older adults supplementing with beetroot have shown improved walking performance, reduced blood pressure, and even enhanced endurance during light exercise. Imagine being able to go for a longer walk without feeling winded, or having more stamina for gardening, playing with the grandkids, or traveling without fatigue dragging you down. That's what better circulation does. The beauty of beetroot powder is how simple it is to use. Just a teaspoon or 2 mixed in water or juice before activity can make a noticeable difference. Some people even mix it into smoothies. The taste is earthy, yes, but the benefits outweigh that in every way. The only caution is for people prone to kidney stones or those on certain blood pressure medications. since the nitrates may interact. But for most people, it's safe, natural, and highly effective. Let me ask, do you ever feel like your muscles give out simply because they're not getting enough oxygen? Drop a comment if that sounds familiar, because beetroot might just surprise you. Now, let's move on to powder number 5, which works on a totally different level. Ashwagandha powder. You may have heard of ashwagandha as an adaptogen, a traditional herb used for stress relief. And yes, it does reduce stress and anxiety, but here's the shocking part. Multiple studies show that ashwagandha can actually increase muscle mass and strength. How? By regulating hormones, especially cortisol and testosterone. As we age, cortisol, the stress hormone, tends to stay elevated. High cortisol eats away at muscle tissue, slows down recovery, and promotes fat gain. At the same time, testosterone and other anabolic hormones decline, leaving your body without the signal to build muscle. Ashwagandha helps rebalance this equation. It lowers excessive cortisol and supports healthier testosterone levels, even in older adults. That hormonal balance creates the perfect environment for muscle growth. It's not about turning you into a bodybuilder. It's about giving your body permission to rebuild instead of constantly breaking down. In one study, older men taking ashwagandha showed significant improvements in muscle strength, recovery, and overall vitality. Beyond the muscles, ashwagandha also improves sleep quality. And as you know, poor sleep is one of the fastest ways to accelerate muscle loss. Imagine waking up feeling rested, less stressed, and actually stronger day by day. That's the power of ashwagandha. The typical dose is around 300 to 600 milligrams of ashwagandha root powder or extract daily, usually taken with meals. You can mix the powder into warm milk, tea, or smoothies. The only caution is for those on thyroid medication or sedatives, since ashwagandha can interact. But overall, it's remarkably safe and has been used for centuries in traditional medicine. Have you ever felt like stress is draining your energy or like your body just doesn't bounce back anymore? That's often cortisol at work, and ashwagandha might be exactly what your muscles and mind need. So far, we've covered circulation and hormones, but there's still another key factor often overlooked in muscle health: mitochondria, the powerhouses of your cells. That's where powder number 6 comes in. Spirulina. At first glance, spirulina just looks like a green algae powder, but don't let its humble appearance fool you. Spirulina is one of the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet, packed with protein, antioxidants, and micronutrients that directly support energy production at the cellular level. Why does this matter for muscles? Because weak muscles aren't always just about protein intake. They're often about energy. If your cells can't produce enough energy, your muscles can't contract and recover efficiently. Spirulina contains phycokinin, a unique antioxidant that fights oxidative stress in the muscles. It's also rich in iron and B vitamins, which support red blood cell production, meaning better oxygen delivery. Combined, that means spirulina doesn't just feed your muscles, it energizes them from within. Studies on older adults show spirulina improves endurance, reduces fatigue, and supports recovery after exercise. And here's something fascinating. It may also support immune function, which often weakens with age. That means fewer colds, faster healing, and less downtime. Spirulina is usually taken as a powder, about 1 to 2 teaspoons daily, mixed into smoothies or water. You can also find it in tablet form if the taste is too strong, because yes, it has a very earthy, sea-like flavor. The main caution is for those with autoimmune conditions, since spirulina can stimulate the immune system. But for most people, it's a natural, safe powerhouse for energy and recovery. Have you ever felt like your muscles are tired before you even start moving? That's exactly the kind of fatigue spirulina can help address. Finally, let's talk about powder number 7, maca root. This one works a little differently, but it completes the picture beautifully. Maca has been used for centuries in the Andes for stamina, fertility, and vitality. Modern research shows maca helps balance hormones, improve mood, and enhance endurance. But what makes it special for muscle health is its adaptogenic effect on energy and resilience. Maca doesn't directly build muscle like whey or creatine, but it creates the environment where your body feels more alive, more energetic, and more capable of activity. It helps stabilize blood sugar, reduces feelings of fatigue, and improves libido and motivation, all of which indirectly support muscle growth and strength. Because let's face it, if you don't feel motivated, you won't move. And if you don't move, you lose muscle. Maca helps break that cycle by restoring drive and vitality. The typical dose is 1 to 2 teaspoons of maca powder daily, often mixed into smoothies, coffee, or even baked goods. It has a nutty, caramel-like flavor that many people actually enjoy. It's generally safe, though those with thyroid issues should be cautious due to its goitrogenic compounds. But for most, maca provides that extra spark, the push you need to stay active and engaged. Now, let's step back and look at the big picture. We've gone through all 7 powders. Whey protein to feed your muscles, creatine to fuel them, collagen to protect the structure, beetroot for circulation, ashwagandha for hormonal balance, spirulina for cellular energy, and maca for vitality and motivation. Each one works differently, but together they form a complete strategy to fight muscle loss. Imagine what happens when you combine them. You start your day with a smoothie containing whey protein, collagen, and a scoop of spirulina. Before a walk, you mix beetroot powder into water for better circulation. With dinner, you take a small serving of ashwagandha for hormonal support. And throughout the week, you add maca root for vitality and mood. Suddenly, you're not just fighting muscle loss. You're creating an environment where your body feels supported in every way. More strength, better energy, improved recovery, less pain, more motivation. That's what happens when you give your body the full toolkit. And remember, it's not about overnight transformation. It's about consistency. These powders don't work like magic pills. They work when you give your body the right fuel, day after day, week after week. The difference you'll feel after 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, it can be life-changing. So let me ask, are you going to wait until muscle loss takes away more of your independence? Or are you ready to take control now before it's too late? Because the truth is, the sooner you start, the faster you notice results. And the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to rebuild. If you found value in this video, make sure you hit the like button, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and drop a comment below with which powder you're most excited to try first. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss future life-changing health tips. Your body deserves this chance, and your future self will thank you.